The iPhone SE 4 is set to hit the market, but will it be a game changer or just another entry in Apple's budget-friendly lineup? The excitement around this upcoming release is palpable, especially when people expected the iPhone 17 series to be the big focus of 2025. However, Apple's got a surprise up its sleeve, a phone that's been on the radar for budget-conscious fans for over a year now, and it's almost here. This phone could be a major win for those looking for an affordable iPhone experience, but there's a big question hanging over it. Will it be enough to get people excited? For years, Apple has been known for its premium devices, but the iPhone SE line has always aimed to offer a more accessible option. And with the iPhone SE 4, Apple wants to offer a more modern take on the budget iPhone, featuring thinner bezels and a sleek design. But the question remains, how far will Apple go to make this phone feel like a true part of the current iPhone family? As details about the device start to surface, one key decision is already stirring a conversation: the design. Specifically, will it feature the much-debated notch, or will Apple step it up with something more modern, like the dynamic island seen in other recent models? Industry expert Ross Young recently revealed that the SE 4 will likely come with a notch, much like the iPhone 14. This revelation has raised a lot of eyebrows because the notch is now seen as something of a relic in Apple's lineup, especially with newer models like the iPhone 15 series featuring the dynamic island. Yet it seems that for the iPhone SE 4, Apple might be sticking with a notch as a cost-cutting measure, which makes sense when you consider their typical approach to pricing. After all, Apple isn't just selling a phone, they're selling an experience, and that experience has a certain price tag attached. But here's the trade-off: is it worth sticking with a design that some may feel is outdated to keep the price down? The iPhone SE 4 is expected to be priced at around $450, much like the iPhone SE 3 before it. For that price, you get an iPhone experience that feels premium in some ways but lacks the features found in Apple's higher-end models. However, if Apple were to include a dynamic island and maybe a dual-camera system, the price would likely rise to around $500, making it a much more competitive option but also risking the ire of budget-conscious buyers. Some might argue that a higher price tag wouldn't be worth it for a budget device, and it's hard to disagree. The reality is that Apple's iPhone SE series exists to cater to a specific market: those who want an iPhone but don't want to break the bank. The trade-off has always been a more basic design with fewer premium features compared to the flagship models. The question is whether that strategy will continue to pay off, or if it will become a sticking point for customers who have become accustomed to more advanced features in budget phones from competitors. Another consideration is the longevity of the iPhone SE 4. Many budget smartphone buyers keep their devices for 4 to 5 years, meaning that in 2029, an iPhone SE 4 with a notch might feel a little outdated. While it's understandable that Apple needs to keep the cost in check, they'd risk alienating customers who might see the device as a temporary option rather than a long-term investment. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on the latest Samsung news. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more updates as this story unfolds. Spending hundreds of dollars on the latest iPhone, expecting a cutting-edge experience, only to find out that its biggest feature is not even ready. Sounds frustrating, right? That is exactly what is happening with the iPhone 16. Apple introduced its grand vision for artificial intelligence with Apple Intelligence, promising to change the way users interact with their devices. But there is a catch: it is not available yet. And based on the latest statement from Apple Chief Executive Officer Tim Cook, it looks like the wait will be even longer than expected. The major highlight of Apple Intelligence is the smarter version of Siri. Apple has been working on making Siri more intuitive, allowing it to handle tasks across different apps seamlessly. Instead of just responding to queries, this new version of Siri is designed to take full control of the device, helping users with their daily tasks in a natural and efficient way. However, the issue is that it is still not here. During a recent announcement, Tim Cook stated that the improved Siri will be available in the next several months. Initially, Apple Intelligence was supposed to launch alongside iOS 18.4 in April, but now it is clear that things are getting delayed. Some reports from Apple insiders even suggest that Apple Intelligence may not be fully ready until 2026, which is a major setback for those who expected to experience these artificial intelligence features right away. This delay is a big disappointment, especially for users who bought the iPhone 16 with the expectation of enjoying artificial intelligence-powered capabilities from day one. The device was heavily marketed around two key upgrades: the advanced artificial intelligence features and the new camera control button. Now, with one of its biggest selling points being postponed indefinitely, many users are left wondering whether upgrading to the iPhone 16 was the right decision. To make things worse, Apple Intelligence will not be available in all regions, and users in the European Union will have even more restrictions due to regulatory policies. This situation brings up an important question. Is it better to upgrade now, or should users wait for the iPhone 17? If Apple Intelligence will not be fully functional until 2026, then iPhone 16 users will only get a limited version of these features, while future models will likely have the complete experience. This delay might make the iPhone 16 feel more like a test version rather than a significant upgrade, which could impact its appeal among consumers. Despite these setbacks, Apple Chief Executive Officer Tim Cook remains optimistic about Apple Intelligence. During the company's earnings call, he described the upcoming artificial intelligence tools as features that users cannot live without once they have tried them. This statement sets high expectations but also raises concerns. If Apple Intelligence ends up being just another minor software improvement rather than a game-changing feature, users may feel disappointed. Apple has built a reputation for delivering polished and innovative products, so any failure to meet expectations could harm its credibility in the artificial intelligence space. Meanwhile, Apple is not the only company trying to dominate artificial intelligence in smartphones. Samsung also focused heavily on artificial intelligence when introducing the Galaxy S25 series during its Galaxy Unpacked event. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more tech updates. Did you purchase the iPhone 16 with high hopes for Apple Intelligence to transform your smartphone experience? If so, you may be feeling somewhat underwhelmed. Despite all the hype and promises, the advanced artificial intelligence features that were touted as one of the device's biggest selling points are nowhere near ready, and according to recent updates, they may not arrive as soon as expected. Apple CEO Tim Cook recently confirmed that the much-anticipated updates to Siri, one of the core components of Apple Intelligence, won't be available for a few more months. This announcement has left many iPhone 16 users frustrated, especially those who were expecting the new AI features to be a highlight right out of the box. At the moment, Apple Intelligence mainly offers basic functionalities like writing assistants, emoji generation, and notification summaries. While these features are useful, they're far from the revolutionary AI experience that Apple promised. One of the biggest letdowns is the delay of the new and improved Siri, which was supposed to launch alongside iOS 18.4. But now it seems the feature won't be available until as late as 2026. For many iPhone 16 buyers, this means waiting years to experience the AI tools that were one of the phone's key selling points. It raises the question, was the iPhone 16 really worth purchasing, given that so many of its flagship features are missing? Adding to the frustration is the fact that Apple Intelligence isn't even available everywhere. Users in the European Union, for instance, are receiving a different version of the iPhone 16 due to local regulations. This means that even when the AI features are finally released, users won't all have access to the same experience. It's a major issue for customers who are hoping for a consistent product, regardless of where they live. Despite these setbacks, Tim Cook remains confident in Apple Intelligence, calling the forthcoming AI tools life-changing. But is that really the case? At the moment, AI isn't considered a must-have feature for most consumers, and Apple will need to do a lot more to prove its value. For now, AI in smartphones is mostly limited to small conveniences, like generating text or enhancing camera shots. If Apple is serious about revolutionizing the smartphone experience, it will need to offer something that goes beyond these basic improvements. Meanwhile, Apple faces fierce competition from companies like Samsung. The recently released Galaxy S25 series highlights AI as a major feature, but Samsung's AI tools feel like little more than slight improvements over what's already available. If Apple is truly delaying its AI features to perfect them, it will need to offer something far more impressive than what competitors are providing. The smartphone industry is clearly shifting towards AI, but the technology is still in its infancy. Right now, it's mostly being used for minor enhancements rather than groundbreaking innovations. If Apple wants to make a lasting impact, it will need to go beyond the basics and offer AI tools that actually change how we use our phones. The promise of an upgraded Siri that can interact with apps and perform tasks within them was a major selling point of the iPhone 16. But with further delays, it's unclear when or if this will ever come to fruition. So, what does this all mean for iPhone 16 users? If you bought the phone for its AI capabilities, you're probably feeling frustrated by the delays. Share your thoughts in the comments and be sure to like and subscribe for more updates.